where to begin. So here we are doing something, I never really thought we would be doing, right?
Yeah, it's something we never expected. I don't think this quickly.
No, no. And then when you think about this quickly, Mom was 95.
Yeah, but she was a young 95 up until about right after your dad died.
She was a young 95. Anyways, Jay and I are going to pick up my mom's ashes, and I think I'm going to bring her home for a while, and then have a memorial service of some sorts later on. It's kind of funny because she had changed her mind at the tail end of this year, I think, right? Last year. We had brought her up to see Billy's memorial up at the Veterans Cemetery. And on the way home, she told us that she had changed her mind. She didn't want a formal service and all of that.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised.
Yeah. And I kept saying, "Are you sure?" And she said, "Yeah." And then she ended up telling my sister and my niece the same thing. So we felt pretty comfortable with, those were her final wishes. So that's what we're doing. We're driving today, and I took half a day off. It's been tough. Mom died on Easter Sunday, which just happened to be her 73rd wedding anniversary.
Yeah, that's ironic.
That was super ironic, and that really weird thing is that I had a dream. My sister had a dream at the same time, unbeknownst to each other, obviously. And in my dream, I dreamt that my mother was going to go with my dad to do a little bit of shut it off. But anyways, I had a dream that my mother was going to go with my dad, and it was going to be on their anniversary, April 9th. And it was funny, I had the dream. My mother went in the hospital Thursday. Jay and I were away. And Jay and I came back Monday night, late Monday night, and you probably saw this in my vlog. But we came back Monday night, and Tuesday we tested, both of us, positive for COVID. And I ended up talking to my mother, but I hadn't seen her since before we went to Vegas. When she had dinner together, she loves scallops, so we bought her a fried scallop plate, and we sat down at her house and had dinner together that Friday night, which I'm so glad we did, because that was the last time we had dinner with my mom. And she looked fine. She looked normal. She looked just like she looked in the video that I had posted of her 95th birthday party, which we had taken her out to the Olive Garden to celebrate. So we went to Vegas, and then we went to Hawaii. Jay got sick. We came home Monday night. Tuesday tested positive. I talked to my mother Tuesday night, had a conversation with her. She sounded okay. Sometime, we don't know exactly when, but sometime she fell, and she ended up going in the hospital Thursday morning. And I couldn't see her because I had COVID. And you have to wait till you test clean, and then you have to have a mask and all that stuff. So I couldn't see her till I had a clean COVID test. And she went in the hospital Thursday. She was in the hospital Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Friday night I had that dream. It was so vivid that she had told me that she had seen Dad in the house before, like a couple of weeks before. She told me how he was in the hallway talking to her, and she really thought he was there. It was so real. She couldn't believe that it wasn't real, that he wasn't there. And so anyways, Friday night I had that dream that Dad came to get her to go to heaven. And Saturday she had a blood transfusion. She seemed to rally. She seemed to be doing much better. Everything seemed a little bit more positive. But Saturday night, Sunday, she took a turn, and we were all there at the hospital, and you could tell that she was not going to make it at all. They told us that. It was the end. I had also had that same dream Saturday night. So for 2 nights in a row, I had that dream that my dad was going to get my mother, and it was going to be on their 73rd wedding anniversary. Coincidentally, Easter Sunday. And that's exactly what's happened. That's exactly what happened. And yeah, so even though she was 95, I don't think we expected it quite yet, because she is, as Jay said, a young 95. So that's what we'll do. So we went and got Mom. And then we went to Newcastle, went to Great Island Common, and we stood outside. That's where we always go to visit Dad, because we spread his ashes out in the ocean by the lighthouse. So that's what we did. And now Jay, we took a ride down the coast. We used to take my mom and my dad for rides along the coast. So we just took a ride along the coast, and Mom's in the back seat in a box. So we're on our journey again. I was just saying how we went to Great Island Common, and then you got lobsters. So you just got how many pounds of lobsters?
3 1/4.
3 1/4. Holy moly. So 3 1/4 pounds of lobsters. Hard shell?
I didn't even ask.
You didn't ask?
Didn't even think of it.
Until he's depressed. He's the guy who would never order lobsters unless they were hard shell.
I know, but
That's
the
okay.
soft shells taste sweet.
I know, and they're easy to eat.
Can't believe how good looking I am. It's insane.
I'm going to post this, you know. I'm not going to cut that out. I'm going to leave that in. Do you remember when you said something years ago? You said something to me in the bathroom and you were joking, and I left it in the video, and then next thing you know, it was all over the gossip site or whatever.
All the gossip bakery.
Because you said something about take out your false teeth, Mama, let me suck on your gums. oh my God. Oh, so with people are going to say, oh, that Jay McGillicuddy, he thinks he's such a stud muffin. Oh my God. I'm leaving all this in. I think it's the first laugh I've had in a week. Stud muffin, you. So, who sings that song, honey? Take out your false teeth, let me suck on your gums, that we thought was so funny.
Yeah, Jay Giles Band.
Jay Giles. That's the
I can't remember the song it was in, but I just remember.
But you remember the lyric.
Yeah.
Do you remember how long ago it was? It's like a long. Jay Giles. I mean, that's a long.
Oh yeah, you're talking back 70s, 80s.
Oh my gosh. So, I don't even know if we talked about the lobster, but you got us lobsters, and he didn't know whether it was a hard or a soft shell, which is really bizarre. But we're gonna go to my mom's house. Probably put her ashes, at least for now, in her house on her mantle, and then we're gonna go home and we're gonna have lobsters in steamers, which was sort of an off-the-cuff decision and a little bit of an indulgence, but that's what we're gonna do after we had a good laugh over take out your false teeth, let me suck on your gums. You know, I keep saying to myself that I don't know really how to act in this new reality. I mean, I don't know how to be, is it like an orphan? You know, it's a weird feeling. Everything looks the same. I look the same. But everything feels different. Went into the grocery store and I thought, I need to call my mom and see, because I haven't gone into a grocery store in a year, that maybe even longer, that I haven't called my mother before I walked in the store to say, what do you need, Mom? And it was so weird to walk in that store and then walk by things I might have bought for her and say, no, she doesn't need them anymore. You know, my mother was a complicated woman. She was a strong-willed woman, and she never really let on at the end about her pain, right? I mean, she, for the last year of her life, had gone on a downhill spiral, and she went from being super weak. She had exams. She didn't want anyone to do anything invasive. She didn't want to be probed, and you know, she was losing blood volume, and she didn't want to have tests. You know, they suspect that she could have had colon cancer, stomach cancer, uterine cancer. She wanted no tests. And when she went in this hospital the last time, they had done the first time and the last time, they had done the blood transfusion on Saturday, and she was in really good spirits. And we couldn't go see her, but we did a FaceTime talk with her. And then Sunday, when she went downhill, we got there, Jay and I got there. She was still coherent. She understood, she saw, she knew who we were. And I was thankful for that time. I was also thankful for all the times that Jay and I would take my mom and dad out for rides along the coast, or just to go explore different things and stuff like that. And in later years, after my dad retired, we did a lot with them. And, you know, I remember taking them to the pumpkin festival one time, and my dad was mesmerized by these huge pumpkins that were all carved up, and the scarecrow people, or just all those different things he was mesmerized by. Mom, not so much, you know. She went along for the ride. That was Mom. She went along for a ride. She probably would rather have been home and putzing in her garden or baking something. But I'm really happy for all the memories we had, that we made, all the different things that we did. And tonight, you know, went to her house, and it was so sad. Every time I walk in there, it is so sad. And then when I leave, I look at the house and I go, I grew up here. You know, I grew up here. So many, many memories. And now they're going to live just in my heart, and in pictures, and in those video clips that I have. So this is sort of just, you know, little kind of like downing, you know, not really downer, because, I mean, my mom is gone. My mom has died. You know, my dad called her, and they're dancing in heaven. She was 95. I should be happy that she didn't linger, that she wasn't in pain. I think that's why Dad came for her, right? He knew her time was near, and he didn't want her to linger. He didn't want her to be in pain. I keep telling myself that. And she's going to be missed big time. She was, like I said, one strong-willed woman. She was complicated. I had a up and down relationship with my mother at times, right? I mean, she, you know, she was very strong-willed, but I loved her dearly. And I will miss her every day of my life. My life won't be the same. So anyways, we went on our ride, and we went to my mother's house, and Jay's steaming lobsters. So that's what we're going to do. So thank you so much for watching. And I also want to thank you to everyone who sent me messages once I posted in the community tab, wherever it is, that my mom had passed. I know it was a shock to many of you, because I know a lot of you watched the vlogs, and you saw clips of my mother and pictures of my mother over the course of time. So some of you got to know her really well. So life goes on.